Thank you, Director of the program, Somizi Mhlongo. He's correct. He's from Kwamashu F section, Madubane Road. That's where I knew his father, Undaba Mhlongo. I also want to recognize the Cape Media organizers of the BBQ Awards, the director, Mr. Robert Arense, and all the directors who are present here this evening. Ambassadors who may be present here this evening, the South African Judicial Education Institute members, Mrs. Zamo Baloy and Mr. Zongezile Baloy, all the adjudicators for this evening, Oscar Sibiza, Kulani Kubera, Basetsana Kumalo, Bonang Mohale, and all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. I'm extremely delighted to be here this evening at South Africa's most prestigious and longest running Black Business Awards ceremony that is taking place under the theme celebrating 25 years of democracy in South Africa. This year, our country is celebrating 25 years of the achievement of our democracy. We celebrate 25 years of freedom, 25 years of commitment to the development, transformation, and prosperity of all our people, as well as the improvement of their quality of life. We celebrate being part of this great country that believes in freedom for all and the supremacy of the rule of law. Our struggle for justice and democracy came at a great cost. As we continue with the celebration of our 25th anniversary, let us also reflect on the contributions and lives of those who sacrificed for you and me to be free today. General elections will be held, as we all know, in our country on the 8th of May in about a few weeks' time to elect a new National Assembly and new provincial legislators in each of our 9 provinces. This will be the 6th election that is being held since the dawn of democracy in 1994. It will therefore be remiss of me if I did not encourage you as South Africans to vote, especially young people, the youth, that has already registered for that purpose. This, as everybody has recognized, is going to be the most contested election since 1994, and the future direction of our motherland will be determined by your own participation as voters. Our country's destination is in your hands, and as an ANC member, I'm very confident that you'll vote and vote right, especially the young people of South Africa. It is therefore pleasing to note that the BBC Awards have celebrated and recognized transformation within our country and within the South African business community over the past 16 years. It is therefore appropriate that I start by expressing my own sincere gratitude and pleasure for being invited to the 2019 edition of this prestigious event. The awards have, for the past 16 years, celebrated as well as recognized South Africa's champions of transformation, with the newest winners of the 15 categories, ranging from Hennessy Businessman of the Year Award to the Public Sector Visionary Award, as well as the Come Business Women of the Year Award. Watinda bafazi, atinte mbokot. If I were a voter, I was going to be voting for a woman to win the award. Transformation is well recognized as a change management strategy which aligns people, which aligns processes and technology initiatives, irrespective of the industry you come from, in order to survive an evolving business environment. There is something deep inside humanity that loves to celebrate the best things in life, and when I accepted this invitation, I impulsively wanted to reflect on some of the things worthy of celebration, mainly because they offer us a sense of belonging, a sense to contribute to our collective national consciousness. If one considers great examples of beating the odds, or of examples of heroic acts encouraged by ordinary South Africans, this country is worthy of celebration. And tonight, we focus specifically on the tribulations as well as the successes of black business. I wish also to pay my own tribute to our stalwarts in whichever facet of our being, be it political, sports, academic, arts, economic, and social. This very eminent gathering this evening of business people and dignitaries has taken time to come out, reflect, and also acknowledge the success of black business with us. Besides being the Minister of Energy, my association with the BBC Awards comes a long way as being a previous recipient, and it therefore should not surprise you. The prognosis is that we should not have load shedding tonight because ISHCOM recognizes the importance of the BBC Awards this evening. I do not mean it in a light tone because this is a very serious matter. As a developing economy, plagued by high levels of poverty and unemployment, the issue of reliable and affordable energy is very critical. The impact of unreliable and unaffordable energy on value-creating industries, which contribute significantly to economic development, could be having devastating impact if unmanaged. Since the advent of our democracy, we increased the usage of electricity in the residential areas through the proliferation of appliances as the standard of living gradually improved. We are still amongst the highest per capita users of electricity around the world, notwithstanding that there are still around 3 million South Africans without grid connection. Through the experience gained during the liquid fuel shortages in 2005 and the electricity disruptions in 2006, 2007, and early in 2008, we have learned about the need for coordinated planning and promptly introduce our energy planning framework, which we call the Integrated Resource Plan for Electricity, the Liquid Fuels Master Plan for Petroleum Products, and the Gas Infrastructure Plan for Gas. You had a situation where electricity disruptions caused diesel shortages due to increased operation of diesel operators to plug the electricity gap. In that crisis, it became evident that disparate plans created potential for contradictory initiatives and activities. Integrated planning was therefore identified as being key to the alignment of plans relating to transportation, electricity, petroleum, water, trade, energy infrastructure development, housing, air quality management, greenhouse gas mitigation, and development plans for local and provincial authorities. Ladies and gentlemen, today we celebrate the BBC Awards, and I want to indicate as well that I'm certain that this information will be very useful to black business that are gathered here tonight. Sustainable energy planning takes a holistic approach to the problem of planning for future energy needs and requires of us to ensure that environmental and climate change issues, together with social development and economic growth, are all considered in a balanced fashion. We have come to realize that achieving these objectives simultaneously is no easy task, as it entails juggling competing and sometimes conflicting objectives. During the energy planning process, we cannot discriminate against or in favor of any particular energy carrier. We cannot ignore the fact in South Africa that we have abundant coal reserves and the price of local coal remains relatively low. However, this is to be counterbalanced by the high carbon content that coal has, and this cost has been internalized when we analyze policy options where emissions reductions targets and carbon taxes are to be introduced. We have also to consider nuclear, and despite its high capital cost, we should not lose sight of the fact that this is a clean energy source that can also contribute optimally to electricity generation. We have also to consider hydro, particularly with respect to Cabora Bassa reserves in our neighboring Mozambique, as well as the Grand Inga in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Our Department of Energy has also sent out a very strong signal with regard to the role of renewable energy technology that it must play in our energy mix in the future. Through the renewable program, we have successfully implemented bidding rounds to which the response has been very, very positive. Our country is highly dependent on imported crude oil, and the diminishing refinery capacity that we're experiencing that makes us to rely on imported petroleum products. This places our country at significant risk to global instability. We have therefore to look at alternative sources and resources to meet our liquid fuel needs as a country. The shale gas potential can also not be ignored, as it has the potential to contribute significantly to our future energy needs within the constraints of proposed emissions gaps, and thereby helping us to move towards a low-carbon economy. There is also significant socio-economic development benefits that could be realized through the creation of primary and secondary industries and new job opportunities. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2018, President Cyril Ramaphosa set a target to lure investments of $100 billion in the next few years in an attempt to stimulate economic growth, which has been falling far short of the 5.4% annual target that is set in the National Development Plan. The aim of the President and us as Cabinet is to attract these investments into projects throughout our country. We must therefore rally behind the President's call by identifying those projects and initiatives that will help us achieve the target that has been set in all the sectors that we come from. The financing support for infrastructure development is a very important starting point. The financing of economic infrastructure has become more problematic given the global financing crunch that is fueled by the standoff currently between China and the United States. Notwithstanding that the current credit situation remains very tight, we need to find ways to increase assistance for financing enterprises to develop infrastructure, especially small and medium enterprises, in order to ensure that we can build the future of South Africa. Our investment climate remains a positive one, with massive infrastructure capital investment program that is underway. Investments in water, in energy, in roads, in transportation are being planned to the extent of over 1 trillion rand in new capacity over the next 10 years. We are putting measures in place that are aimed at assisting municipalities to refurbish their infrastructure. Through this initiative, the problems associated with the last mile, especially in the electricity supply service, will be addressed. Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth industrial revolution is upon us. In the end, it comes down to people, it comes down to values. We need to shape a future that works for us all by putting our people first and also ensuring that we empower them. In its most pessimistic, dehumanized form, the fourth industrial revolution may indeed have the potential to robotize humanity and therefore deprive us of our heart, deprive us of our soul. But as a complement to the best parts of human nature, creativity, empathy, stewardship, it can also lift humanity into a new collective, into a new moral consciousness based on our shared sense of destiny. It is therefore incumbent on us to make sure that that sense of destiny starts with us doing preparatory work, anticipating the change that is all around us. To the organizers, a big thank you for your tireless efforts in promoting sustainable Black business and transformation through the recognition of good corporate governance, of good leadership, of worthy achievement. And to all the winners, please accept my congratulations on this wonderful recognition of your deserved merit. Your dedication, your insights are really inspiring, and we do hope that you will encourage others to strive for the level of achievement that you are going to be receiving this evening. I want to conclude, ladies and gentlemen, by indicating that changing the structure of the South African economy will result in it being more inclusive, more sustainable, achieving appropriate sectoral balance with opportunities for all, integrated value chains, and less barriers to entry as envisioned in our collective document, the National Development Plan. For South Africa, the transformation agenda is very critical in all our endeavors and all our decisions. I thank you for your attention. Enjoy the rest of the evening.